What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the third studio album by rockers the Orwells. This new one is called Terrible Human Beings. I love the title of that album because sometimes I feel like I'm one of those, and more often than not, I feel like I see terrible human beings all the time, all over the place. Now this album was announced last October. I've been excited for it for a little bit after hearing the lead-off single that I thought was short, blissful, but effective. Buddy is a really solid track. And then they put a body in the Bayou, and that one just sealed the deal for me. That is a top-notch track right there. It's just got the energy that you would expect from these guys. It's their third outing. You know that they've got those garage rock elements, but at the same time, they've got a punk rock attitude. Now, I haven't spent a ton of time listening to their music, but what I've heard, I've always enjoyed. And this is the first deep dive that I've done into one of their albums, and I have to say that I'm not seeing why critics just seem to breeze over this band, kind of dismiss them. Sure, they're playing styles that have been done before, but really, who isn't these days? And these dudes rock hard, they have a nice fuck you attitude about them, but it doesn't come off as just off-putting. It comes across as kind of charismatic and kind of refreshing in the scene at this point. They've got a nice lineup of tracks here, honestly pretty stacked lineup all throughout. There's not that many that I am just finding myself breezing through. There's maybe a couple that I do breeze through a bit more than others, but we'll talk about that more as the review goes on. This is their second release for Atlantic Records, their second on a major label of course. Their debut wasn't exactly the best thing in the world, but it definitely showed signs of what was to come, and here on their third album, Terrible Human Beings, I feel like they're definitely kind of honed in on the sound that they want to achieve. And once again, like I said, they probably do not give a fuck for critics like me either liking them or else hating them. It seems like they have a fan base, they're very devoted, it's small but kind of a cult following, and I like their kind of DIY attitude. They're doing what they want to, making the music that they want to, and that totally reflects in the track listing here. What are some of the best moments? Why does this album succeed? It's loud, it's got some ferocious guitars, some fast-paced drumming on it, and some nice vocal work as well. I have to really commend that, like Body in the Bayou and then Double Feature. I love the layered vocals that really just send this album out on an amazing note. And then all throughout, moments like Mad, they tune it down a little bit and then it breaks right back into it. And then on a moment like Fry, they channel their inner Wave. Seriously, that sounds so much like them that it feels like almost like a tribute or a cover song. Ring Pop slices in with these fantastic chunky riffs and then a nice vocal melody that I can't get out of my head. An easy instant favorite for me. And then Fry, like I mentioned, even though it does have a lot of overwhelming influences on it, I have to say that it's a pretty straightforward face-melting rocker that I really do enjoy. Hippie Soldier is probably my favorite song on the album lyrically, and maybe even overall. I love the guitars on this track. They are so full of life. That one and the one right after that, Heavy Head, just so loud, kind of the shrieking guitar that starts off the track and then comes back all throughout, weaving its way in and out, adding a whole lot of texture to the track. Hippie Soldier in particular is one that's basically checking somebody, saying like, whoa, you think that you know everything? Well, think again, because I think not. Let's show this person to the door. The guitars are tuned differently on Hippie Soldier, and I think that's a huge reason why I like it so much. The guitars are very steady all throughout. There's a nice drum pacing as well. There's a bass groove that's kind of fluctuating on this track, and then it kind of slows down to just the da-na, 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 da-na. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting like a Portugal the Man type vibe from that, and obviously if you guys have watched my channel for a while, you probably know that I'm a big fan of Portugal the Man. So whenever I'm getting vibes like that, just kind of an indie glaze to it, I'm definitely not opposed to it, and the Orwells seem to pull it off pretty well with a damn great track, Hippie Soldier. We get a similar vibe on Vacation, which is definitely not a favorite of mine. It does have similar vibes, but I don't feel like they hit it as hard on this track. The lyrical content, I get what they're going for. It's basically like somebody has checked out. They weren't here, they were on vacation, and I get the overarching theme here. It's just that the guitars kind of meander and wander around, and even though there is structure to the song, it's short, it's in one ear, out the other, and I don't really feel affected one way or the other about it. And sadly, I feel similar things about the track that came right before that, Creatures. This is a moment that does feel a little bit out of place on this album because it doesn't have that many strong elements to it. The Orwells get back on track with moments like Black Francis, which really rips into it. It's kind of a fast-paced, punkier jam. And then the next to last track, Last Call, Go Home is one that slows it down a bit. It's a little bit reflective, but at the same time, there is still a punch there. And while it might lack some elements, maybe not quite as original as I would want it to be, there are still a lot of fun aspects that make me keep coming back to this track and obviously others on the album as well. The Orwells did a pretty damn good job with what they were working with here. The sound that they were trying to achieve, I think that they mostly pulled it off. And on Terrible Human Beings, I think there's a lot of songs that I could see myself coming back to. Maybe nothing like Album of the Year material or even year-end list material. Maybe a few songs like Body in the Bayou, Hippie Soldier, or even Heavy Head. I think those are my top 3 favorites right there. But there definitely are some solid tracks on here. And if you like punk, if you like alternative or rock, any of those things, just kind of a garagey style, then definitely check out the Orwells. These guys aren't that well known. You probably know that. You might be watching this video and wondering exactly who they are. Check them out. I will link their album in the description down below. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this record in the comment section. There you have it, the Orwells' Terrible Human Beings. Leave a like on this review to show some support and subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can check out and support my Patreon if you'd like to help the videos out. Top link in the description down below. You can see a couple of recent videos right here, social media linked in the description, and I will see you very soon right here on ARTV.